Do you want to know the system in society that is responsible for more broken dreams, more poverty, more averageness, and more personal despair than anything else? If so, you'll not want to miss today's episode. Hi, I'm Tracy from Money Boss, and we are here to help you master your money mindset so you can build and live the life of your dreams. Let's get to it. Do you have a guess on the system? If you've watched my content, you're probably going to guess the school system. And before we dive in, I'm going to do the apologetics because there's going to be outroar. We are all conditioned to our systems of society, and there's a lot of programming that comes along with that. And if you attack one of our treasured systems in this world, we are conditioned as a society to protect what we know and are taught that is good for us. So let's do the apologetics. If we live in a first world country where we receive public schooling, we're very fortunate. I can argue that, but let's go with that. And the second apologetics is there are many beautiful teachers with good intentions and a lot with probably not the greatest intentions, but many people in the school system that are there to coach, nurture, teach, make a difference in the lives of children. So the attack is not at those great teachers that are there trying to change lives, not at all. The attack is on the system. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about why the school system was actually started, why it's designed, how it is wholly outdated, and how the structure of the schooling system actually disconnects us from who we are as a person and can do as much damage as the good they try to do. So here we go. Let's open the can of worms. In the industrial age, the school system was actually formed for two reasons. One, they wanted the parents in the factories working. It was a boom, the industrial age. It was a time of great opportunity, of great growth. Our economy just exploded. So they needed to have workers in the factories to make the factory work and get the product out the door. So number one, they needed a place to put the kids. So they realized if they had a place to take care of the kids, the parents could focus, but in the meantime, they could also train the next generation of workers. And if you train the next generation of workers, you now create a workforce that's coming up that has been trained, conditioned, taught to think, behave, and act exactly how you want them. And that's the school system. It's designed to condition large groups of children to think the same way, from set information, act the same way, and listen, obey, not question, show up on time, clock in, clock out, be grateful, and just really absorb the information that you're taught and not really critically think out of the box or speak up, right? We all knew, not that I did, but hey, if you were a kid that spoke up or asked too many questions or went against the status quo in school, how did that work out? Maybe you had a great teacher that entertained your questions or your devil's advocate. I don't know that I did. They're there to teach what they are told to teach, right? That's the school system. So there we are. That's why the school system was created. Okay, great. We're in the first world country where we receive free education. While parents work, they can bring money into the family, create a better life for the family. Mom and dad can work, double income, more wealth, more money to go around, more opportunity. We receive education where kids in poor countries don't. Let's put that aside now. And let's look at the ways that the school system has really disconnected the individual from who they are, what our personal interests are, and maybe our own internal intelligence that most of us as adults don't even know we have. So here is the downside of mass public education. You're taught a set curriculum of knowledge. So one could even question where that knowledge comes from and whether it's accurate, whose version of history it is, right? You can question all that. A lot of people are now discovering that some of the history that we've been taught isn't necessarily that way. So we're taught a set curriculum of knowledge, and we're told to show up. Sit down, listen, don't question, memorize. And make sure, just by the very nature of the classroom, that we don't put a spotlight on ourselves, because we know if we stand up or we're called upon and we get the wrong answer, we're laughed at. Kids are vicious, right? So the very nature of the school system, groups of people, judging, society, the structure of society, the bullies, the geeks, the mean girls, the nice girls, we know how school is. School conditions us. And very quickly, we're taught that we don't want to be called to the front of the class. The tall poppy gets trimmed. How embarrassing. What if we go up there and we get the wrong answer? We're going to get ridiculed. Kids are like wolves, I tell you. We all know. We went to school. So we get conditioned not to really stand out and to just be part of the pack, because then we're accepted. If you're super smart or super dumb, you get picked on. You're a geek or you're a loser, right? So stay in the middle, blend in. So now that structure and programming goes into the workforce, because if you want to succeed in the workforce, you automatically need to stand up and stand out. But you've just been conditioned for how many years to fit in, to survive? Society operates in structures, in groups, and that system of survival is still there and imprinted on us when we go into the workforce. So you don't want to stand out. You don't want to be ridiculed for being too smart, too dumb. But now you get into the workforce, or let's say you want to be an entrepreneur and you need to put yourself on camera. Holy goodness, this ain't easy. You're putting yourself on camera, sharing your information like I'm doing right now. I'm uploading it to YouTube, and I could be ridiculed, shamed. This can go viral. Any number of things can happen from me stepping out of the pack and recording this video. But here's the thing. For me right now, my mission is to help people realize the factors that limit them and help them master their mindset so they can live their best life. So if people want to shame and ridicule me and get mad for me questioning the school system, so be it. That's okay. That's okay. I'm here for it. I'm hoping, though, that the ones that really need this, the ones that weren't good in school, got the Fs, weren't interested, the ones that had hateful teachers that sent home bad report cards, that made mean comments that damaged you, because there are those teachers that aren't great, that are just human beings. Everybody thinks the teachers, the doctors, the lawyers are amazing and have it all together. It's not the truth. Your teachers were teachers, or were people just like anybody you know. And if you look at maybe your aunts, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters, you're not perfect. You make mistakes. You have limited knowledge. So these teachers that we looked up to, that position themselves as the know-it-all, they are just flawed human beings like everybody else. But here's the thing. Due to the nature of the school system, they pass judgment on you. And because of that, you labeled yourself bad student, keen student, failure at math. I wasn't great at math. And guess what? I didn't get good marks on math. And guess what? I started to take on limiting beliefs that I am bad at numbers. Guess what? I'm a business owner and I'm brilliant at budgeting. All the numbers that matter. I'm brilliant. But guess the amount of damage that those teachers did, because obviously they didn't teach me correctly. Obviously I didn't get engaged. Obviously I didn't connect with it. That became a stamp. Tracy's bad at math. And it became a bit of a life sentence there until I had to work with financials when I was starting a company. Then I realized, wow, okay, math is pretty easy. All that algebra garbage, the filler subjects that they teach us to pass the time and not actually give us information that matters so that we can personally and financially empower ourselves to live great lives. All that filler information that we were taught wasn't even the real numbers that matter. I'm brilliant at math now, budgeting, financials, making profit. I am really good at that. But could you imagine if I didn't work on that programming that those teachers left me with? Could you imagine if I couldn't get over that? I wouldn't have looked at my financials because I would say, this is too complicated. I'm horrible. Then I would have messed up my business. My business would have failed and my life wouldn't be the way it is. But I started on personal development. I started questioning, well, who are these teachers? Is algebra, physics, chemistry, any of this stuff important for my life? Wait a minute. Those teachers, are they really that smart? Am I really that dumb? Wait a minute. I started questioning. And those stamps of Tracy's bad at math, the judgment that was passed home on my report cards sent to my parents, continued in family conversations. I questioned that. I moved through those limiting beliefs and the school system and the damage it did to me was finally erased by my willingness to look at that, question the school system, question the teachers, question that period of time, question those situations. I failed a math test. I'm not a failure. I didn't fail the grade. I actually passed. Math wasn't my greatest subject, but I looked at that as instances and didn't pass that as my life sentence. So I'd love to question you. Is there damage the school system did to you? And this is not a victim sob story here. Look at your school experience. And I don't think there's any one person that got through it unscarred. We carry a lot of baggage. And here's the thing, those were situations. And honestly, that's school. And honestly, those tests and those classes, they were all filler. And those people, they're useless to our lives right now. So any opinions or events that happened in the school system that we're still carrying forward as adults, and they're there. Just don't even deny it. Guaranteed they're there. You might have to think long and hard, but bring those to the surface. Were you the geek of the class because you were too smart or they thought you were dumb? You had glasses and you got teased as bottle eyes. You were tall and a head. You were tiny and a runt. Those were vicious children that didn't know any better. Did your teacher say you won't amount to anything? Well, who the hell are they? Honestly, they're a byproduct of the system. They're not God. They don't know your potential. Who cares if you failed a class? Who cares if you weren't good at biology? Chances are if you weren't good at it, they sucked at teaching it and or you weren't interested in it. Filler subjects. I'm sorry. Look at the school system. If they really wanted us to be healthy, wealthy, happy, every single example and every single class that was in the school system would have been replaced with something else. History. Why teach about history? We repeat it anyways. We can teach about reality creation so that we don't repeat history. Racism. Why don't we teach kids the root of racism is fear? Why don't we explore racism and the fact that underneath all of our skin, whatever skin color it is, we're all the same. We want to be healthy, happy, and loved. That's it. But no, they don't teach you that. Why don't they teach us, instead of algebra, which nobody ever used, and if they do for the odd job, it's going to be done by computer. Why didn't they teach us how to budget so that we didn't go and grab a credit card and get into consumer debt and get so darn in debt that we're prisoners to our debt? And debt has the ability to absolutely liberate you or destroy you. How many people do you know, and you're not going to know it directly, but how many relationships are strained because of financial pressure? I'd almost say 98% of the world. We live beyond our means. We buy beyond what we need. It's wants, not needs. But we're not taught this. What if we were taught to budget? What if we were taught to take and save? What if we were taught about the destructive or powerful effect of interest? Negative when it's on a credit card, interest when it's on assets. What if they taught us about how to launch a business and actually make money instead of showing up to a job to exchange your time for money? That's the job. It's not scalable because you only have so much time. Even if you only sleep 4 hours a night, you max out. Why don't they teach us that in order to create a great life, we should probably take responsibility for our budgeting, our finances, and for making sure that we generate enough money to support our lifestyle. The finance one, Money Boss. That's why I'm here on this earth. I know it to my very soul. I'm here to help people change their relationship with their money, because money is power, and power gives you opportunity to live the life of your dreams. I could go on and on about the school system, but if you haven't thought about it, which chances are we really don't, take a look back. What did they teach you of value? And there's stuff there that's great. I'll do the apologetics again. But there's a lot of stuff that's there that's not so great. And even more, if you're watching this and still programmed, you're going to defend it. And you're not going to realize the full extent that the school system programmed you and capped your opportunity. So have a look at the school system. What situations came up? Where do you hold shame over things that were said by your classmates or your teachers? Is it time to let go of that baggage and go, who the hell was that kid in my class? Who was that teacher? Wait a minute, that was a moment in time. We just need to take that baggage cart and just disconnect the pin and let that cart go. That was the past. And if I was bad at math, chances are it doesn't matter because it's all phone, computer, and calculators now. It really doesn't matter. But you can take a course on budgeting, on money, and start to become financially responsible and start to be able to create a life that includes financial freedom. What happened in our childhood is so formative. And I've covered that in the family video 2 videos ago, and then the community video, the last video, and then this one. Our family, our community, and our school are the 3 factors most responsible for who we are today, how we operate, and our results. But don't forget, the operating system that our family gave us, our community, and our school should be upgraded. It's like your iPhone. I've said this in the previous videos. The iPhone is constantly updated. How many new entertainments and social media apps have you put onto your phone? Same with education. The education in the school system, I call it filler. The education in post-secondary gets you in the door because that's what you need to get those great middle-class jobs, to start gaining the opportunities and working. But when you graduated from university or college, that's not when your learning should have ended. That's when it got started. My most important learning was on the job and in my personal time, where I started researching how to make money and testing and launching little businesses and just bumping along and really learning in the laboratory of life. So whatever happened in your childhood, whatever community you grew up in, whatever happened in your school, cut that off, drop it, go there, pull it up and evaluate those and go, oh, I'm letting that shameful situation from what that student said or that teacher said to dictate my results. That was a test. That was an embarrassing moment. That's not who I am. That's not my life sentence. I can learn. I am not their judgment. We need to let that go because family, community, and school trap us. It's the old operating system. You update your iPhone all the time. Actually, they just do it for you so that it's operating with the best knowledge, the most current information, and the best bandwidth. You put apps in to improve your phone and your phone experience. What are you doing to operate your system here? Because if a lot of your thoughts are the same as what you were programmed with, pardon me, your life is going to look very much like the life of your parents, your community, and what you're living now. If you want a different future than your past, you need to change what you are thinking, feeling, believing, studying, and doing today. That's how you change your future tomorrow. Your past is your past. Your family, your community, your school, that's history. It's too bad we couldn't just wipe that old operating system and then start fresh with Tracy at 42 and all the information I have. But you are capable of totally revamping your life, making yourself into the person that you dream of being, launching that business, having money, building a dream family, not repeating your family history. You totally have the potential. You just need to operate different up here. Update this, update your money mindset, continue to think, act, be different. You'll change your results. And it's just this beautiful spiral of slowly improving your life to make sure that you don't relive your past so that your future is brilliant. It's how you want it. You can do it. I believe in you. You should too. Go out there, build the life of your dreams, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm sharing all the goods here, all the secrets to help you change your life. See you next time.